Okay, children of God, this is the 10 utterances of God and the 10 commandments. I saw these things in my dream about 20 years ago, and I want to share them with you today. It's the 10 utterances of God and the 10 commandments. They are the same thing. And I'm going to ask my Brother Greg here, if he'll read to you the 10 utterances of God, and I will read to you the 10 commandments. And then you can see how much they compare together.
Genesis 1 and 3, and God said, "Let there be light," and there was light.
In the book of Exodus, chapter 1, chapter 20, verse number 3, it says, "You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourselves any graven images or like the likeness of anything that is in the heavens above or in this earth beneath or in the water on the earth, under the earth." Okay, so you can see the comparison. What that means is that in the beginning, God said God is the light of the world. So there's only one light, and so that light requires you to worship Him only. You understand? To worship no other God, because God is the light of the world. Because He is the light of the world, you should not worship any other God. He is the only God in the world. So you should worship Him and worship Him only.
Genesis 1 and 6, and God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters."
You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless who takes the name of the Lord God in vain.
Genesis chapter number 1, verse 9, and God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear," and it was so.
Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy.
Genesis 1 and 11, and God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth," and it was so.
6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but on the Sabbath day is the Lord your God. In it you shall do no work. You see how the vegetation, how God made the vegetation, and then He said for you not to work until any vegetation. That is the Sabbath day.
Genesis 1:14, and God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth." And it was so.
Honor your father and your mother, that your days will be long upon the earth which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Do you see the comparison? You see how that is? You remember when Joseph had his dream and Joseph worshiped and he saw the sun and the moon and it bowed down to him, the haystack that bowed down to him. Mother and father represents sun and moon.
Genesis 1 and 20, and God said, "Let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven."
You should not murder. That means you should not think that you are bigger than the other person. Because you have the fishes, you have little fishes, and you have small fishes, and you have great fishes. So the great fishes always eat the little fishes. So this is the attitude that God say that you're not supposed to have. You're not supposed to have the identity or the mindset that you are the big fish and that you should eat the small fish. Because God made them to dwell together in the ocean. So God made us also to dwell together. So you're not to kill, to think that you're bigger and that you have autonomy over one another.
Genesis 1, verse 24. And God said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beasts of the earth after his kind. And it was so.
You should not commit adultery. So you don't commit adultery. This is what God's saying that we should not do. Well, this you have your own wife, you have your own drink from your own fountain, and you have to have your mate after your own spouse, after your own kind. That means don't be attached to zoophilia, having sex with animals. You have relationship with your own kind, your own wife, your own mate, your own spouse, not lusting after other things or creeping things or animals.
Genesis 1 and 26. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
And God said, thou shalt not steal. Don't steal from man. Don't steal a man's religion. Don't steal another man's property. Don't steal another man's what he have. If you have something, God bless him with it. That's what God bless him with, bless her with. But you should not covet what they have. Don't steal from another person.
Genesis 1 and 29. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat.
And you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor, because God has given you everything that you need. He has given you and blessed you with everything that you need. He has given you food to eat, and so you should not steal or covet anything that the Lord has blessed you with. It doesn't belong to you. God will give you what you need. He knows what you need, and that's yours. God's given it to you, and what God has given to another is His. It belongs to Him.